Creativity is an addiction. We live with it every day. We can't shake it. It's an addiction. We have to feed that monster every day. But how do we get through that storm? And here's the opposite side of that. We also like to celebrate with our victory. So your creative level is going, well, what do you want here, man? You want these things to happen. It's going to require some creativity. And then you don't want to do it. You're confusing me. Unplug, because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. What's it been, like 37 years? 1985, it's 2022. 37 years ago, I moved away from the state of Montana because I just couldn't handle it, the winters. I just couldn't do it. I even as a child, I didn't enjoy playing in the snow. There was just nothing there for me. I attempted to do skiing up there in Red Lodge, Montana, but, for some reason, I just couldn't vibe with it. And it was like, I got to get out of here. And I just couldn't wait. I had California in my heart, man. But I always knew as a broadcaster that I couldn't go to California as a nobody because they already have enough of those people there. And I had to go and learn how to do this thing called broadcasting and become somebody. So what did I do? I went the opposite direction. I went to Carolina, where you barely get any snow until this year. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we've gone 4 years without any snow. And we are currently on the boundaries of a new weekend, and Mother Nature is going to give us a third bath of that beautiful white. I call it beautiful because, man, I'm trying to be positive. 3 weekends in a row of the snow. And I'll tell you what, the positive thing here is that snow gives us an opportunity to find our footprints. The existence, the presence. I compare it to my daily writing. Through tossed out thoughts onto a blizzard white canvas, I let those words grow with me, to be released from me, to move mentally through me, to see that, yes, as writers, we are here. I talk to a lot of book authors, published authors, years and years trying to be published. And then it becomes a full-time job for them. I personally love writing books. But as an author, I don't get any of that time back. I wasn't disciplined enough to treat it like a job, to know what hours are only available. And there could be no overtime ever when you're a published author. I've since changed. My daily writing has fine-tuned the layouts of expression. Be here, don't be there. Footprints in the snow, a presence. The beauty of allowing yourself to think. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am that daily writer. I'm also a book author. They are two completely 100% different people. But as a daily writer, I document life as it's moving through us. It's such an expression. It is a footprint in the snow where you can go back to and say, yeah, I was there, but what have I learned since being there? That's what's great about being a daily writer. This is The Daily Mess. Unmasking the real conversation requires a physical act of trust. If you could see my body language right now, I actually was sitting here with my hands tightly gripping each other next to my heart. Because obviously this subject here is very heavy on my heart. Unmasking the real conversation requires a physical act of trust. But how much time will go by before the availability of actuality is shown the open door? See, I shy away from circles of personal conversation. I'm always afraid of getting wrapped up in something that will challenge my trust. There's so much gossip. I don't know if the internet has caused this with free-form writing on Facebook and with Instagram. Oh my God, there's just so much gossip that goes forward with no real intent but to instantly compare chapters. I believe in one thing. If this is what you're saying about them, then what are you saying about me? I don't want to know. I'm not listening. La, 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 not listening. People don't keep stories to themselves. You know they don't, because I don't. By the time it returns to the origin, it's been bent or broken, and if it falls into the wrong ears, the waves of negative energy start to tarnish the image and imagination. So I ask this question. Is it safer to not unmask the real conversation? Or does it paint you as being somebody who is standoffish and uncaring? Do we put ourselves in a position of, let's don't find any time to talk? We could sit here and make sounds all day. That's a tough question to deal with because a lot of us do like to talk. And I don't like to get mixed up in something because I don't want to have fingers pointed at me that says, well, he was with them when they were talking about it. Oh my God. How? Why? I was just passing by. Or if you do get caught up in a conversation, you don't know what the person is going to say. There's somebody that I work with, a coworker, that likes to drop the F-bomb. And I mean, he'll say that word, and I'm looking around going, oh my God. You have to understand how it enters me. If he said the F-bomb, then that meant because I was with him, then I said it too. Because if somebody heard it and they were looking at us, both of us are guilty of the same situation. And that goes back to what my dad used to teach me all the time. I don't want you to play basketball at the school. But Dad, come on. There's better basketball courts down there. Plus, I mean, come on. The hoops are good. If you go to that school and somebody breaks a window, you did it. No, I didn't. I was over on the basketball court. No, you were seen playing basketball, broken window at the school. You did it. And so that's the way that I feel about having conversations in groups of people or even with two people. Because, and this one of my irritants here is when you do walk into an open space and two people get together, they're whispering to each other and they're looking at you. And it's like, what did I do? What did I do? You know, and you sit there and you go, I don't think you're talking about me, but for some stinking reason, you're making me feel like you're talking about me. So it goes back. Unmasking the real conversation requires a physical act of trust. Do you trust anybody enough and long enough to take what you want to say and let's just release it, to set it free, to let it go? Because you can't keep that junk trapped inside of you all the time. There are many times that I get with people and their negative energy is so much you finally say, hey. When you talk like this, I don't want to be selfish here, but it takes me down. I'm trying to be a positive person here. Candy-coated plastic bathroom mirror smile. You get it? Do you understand? You know, I'm no different than you. I don't want to be here just as much as you don't want to be here, and I don't want all these people to be here, but we got to be here because this is called survival. But don't use your words as a way of release. You're feeling good while I'm feeling like crap. Unmasking the real conversation requires a physical act of trust. But the final question in the whole thing was, the image and the imagination, they're at risk at all times. Real conversations. Does it paint you as being a standoffish or uncaring person? And if it does, I have no time to talk. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.